Hey everyone, welcome back to my podcast. I'm your host, Lester Gonzalez, and as an educator and psychology graduate, I will talk about self improvement, personal growth, success, and how our mindset plays a crucial role in our lives. Please leave a follow as it will help grow this podcast. And that being said, today's topic, I want to dive deeper in the 9 psychological traits that will shape positive relationships. Forming positive relationships is the foundation in fulfilling a happy life. Every one of us brings a unique set of qualities in a relationship, providing a sense of connection with others. Whether it would be long-term relationship or a team, having positive relationships is essential for growth, especially when it comes to constant learning from each other. And that being said, here are the 9 psychological traits that can shape our positive relationships. The first trait I want to emphasize is empathy. And having empathy is crucial in forming positive relationships. This trait gives us the ability to understand and share feelings with others. And remember that empathy promotes understanding, compassion, and support within relationships. Think of empathy as a way to put ourselves in the other person's shoes. I work as a teaching assistant, and when I have a student that often feels down or frustrated, I like to put myself in their shoes, being able to understand how they feel and give certain guidance or advice from there. Because the moment you put yourself in the other person's shoes, you have this sense of empathy, of bringing positivity, of being able to understand their position. And the more we showcase empathy, the more we'll find care and positivity with one another, which allows us to help and guide each other. The second trait I find important is trustworthiness, and being trustworthy is a vital trait for positive relationships. This builds a foundation of trust and openness with others, and being trustworthy also builds the sense of security, allowing ourselves to actively listen and express to one another. Keep in mind, the more trustworthy we are, the more respected we'll be, thus making trustworthiness a foundation in forming positive relationships. The third trait is effective communication. Effective communication is the epitome of forming positive relationships. Communication evolves around many psychological traits. Traits like active listening, assertiveness, and the ability to express ourselves clearly can contribute to positive interactions. And the more we interact, the more we'll develop our character with one another, allowing us to build relationships through communication and connection. The fourth trait is patience, right? Patience is crucial when building strong relationships. This allows us to give space and time with others. Patience promotes our tolerance and understanding, especially when others are going through hard times. This helps us understand our boundaries when expressing ourselves, allowing us to utilize patience for greater communication with one another, because patience gives us time and gives the other person time when they're in the need of help, or when you're being a good partner or a team member, right? We need patience, especially when it comes to communication. And the more we develop patience, the stronger relationships will build. The fifth trait is flexibility. In order to build positive and strong relationships, we must have flexibility. You see, flexibility allows us to adapt and change with unexpected occurrences. This trait ensures relationships remain resilient to the face of challenges. And look, whether in your relationship or whether in friendships, family, there will always be some type of problem that may occur. Sometimes you'll go through arguments, and this is where flexibility comes into play, right? Flexibility builds trust and connection. And as relationships tend to work around things for the better. And the more flexible we are, the more we'll build positive relationships and overcome these challenges. Flexibility allows us to work our way around things, especially when they don't work out the way we want them to. Which brings me to my next point, which is very similar to flexibility, but I find a crucial factor or a trait in terms of building positive relationships would be to have problem-solving skills. Problem-solving skills help build strong relationships overall, right? And this trait helps break down, construct, and resolve any problematic or challenging situation possible. When it comes to building positive relationships, we must find ways to work things out with one another, allowing ourselves to share perspectives and ideas. The more we problem solve with others, the more relationships we'll build when working together. The seventh trait I find crucial is forgiveness. And forgiveness is a trait that can help maintain relationships and help them stay connected. Look, this trait helps us let go of past setbacks and move forward with a fresh start. Not everyone will be perfect in a relationship, but forgiveness will bring perseverance and growth in our relationships. Yeah, and as hard as forgiveness is, I understand how hard that is, but there will always be good coming out of forgiveness, especially knowing we'll never give up with others. And the more we forgive, the greater relationships will form, allowing ourselves to overcome and move on in life. The eighth, the eighth trait is having positive self-esteem, especially when forming healthier relationships. This trait influences our self-worth, allowing ourselves to love and be loved. Right? Our self-esteem comes from the way we portray ourselves with others. And think of this as treat others the way we want to be treated. The more we develop positive self-esteem, the more we'll understand ourselves and adapt with others around us. It's all about the positive character we want to portray and how confident we are when working with others. And as a result, this trait creates healthier and more positive relationships in the long run. Which brings to my last point, which is self-reflection. And self-reflection can help develop strong and positive relationships overall. And the trait allows us to understand our own behaviors, motivations, and triggers. Doing this will showcase the type of character we want to express ourselves to, and while also sharing the type of value we want to bring for others. Remember, our character shapes the relationships we make, the way we portray ourselves, the way we provide guidance, the way we communicate or show that love or connection. And the more we self-reflect in a responsible and ethical manner, the more we'll build positive relationships with others. So keep in mind, it's you versus you at the end of the day. You must understand the type of character you want to be with others and how you want to be, basically. Yeah. And as I've said, like, treat others the way you want to be treated. And, like, for me, I love, treating others with kindness, guidance, mentorship. And, if that's something I could get back, it's something I would want to show toward others. So that is all I have for you guys today in the 9 psychological traits that shape positive relationships. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. For more self-improvement content, stay tuned on this podcast. Make sure to leave a follow, as it will help me grow this channel. I really love sharing my knowledge and mentorship with all of you. I look forward to growing with all of you on this pod, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. As always, I wish you all a blessed day.